Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube page. We're back with our Week 13 NFL previews. Week 13 will get underway on Thursday night with the game between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons down in Atlanta on NFL Network. The Saints come into this game with a record of 5-6, the Falcons with a record of 10-1. Both teams coming off emotional games in Week 12. The Saints losing to the 49ers at home 31-21, and the Buccaneers keeping their commanding lead in the NFC South with a 24-23 win on the road in Tampa last week. Last week for these two teams was a microcosm of how their seasons have gone. The Falcons found a way to win a close game. The Saints found a way to lose a close game. And as we head into this week, the Saints' backs are up against the wall. There's no denying that. They said 5-6. Can you make the playoffs with 7 losses? Yes, but generally it's not something that NFL teams like to bank on. So the Saints are playing for their season. Will be heading on the road to play the Falcons, a team that they beat 31-27 in Week 11 and gave the Falcons their only loss of the season. Could they win this game? Absolutely. The Falcons have had trouble with the Saints in previous years. The big question for the Saints will be, can they do enough defensively on the road to stop Matt Ryan and this high-powered offense who, let's face it, returns home, feeling good about themselves after an emotional win on the road, and can smell two things. 1, clinching the division. 2, knocking the Saints out. And I think that second one will give them added motivation in this game because the Falcons have had trouble with the Saints in years past, and I think in their minds, bury the Saints will be something that they will relish and something that they will really look forward to doing in this game. The Saints, look, the usual. Drew Brees, although he's been more turnover prone this year, especially last week versus the 49ers, he's still a stalwart at quarterback. They still have all the usual weapons around him. We think that their absence of a running game and them being one-dimensional, more so than in years past, has hurt them, and obviously that defense, which may be the worst in the league, has really, really hurt them this season. Atlanta comes into this game 10-1, like we said. Their minds are now, yes, NFC South, which will probably be wrapped up in the next couple of weeks here. But beyond that, their mind is shifting towards home field throughout the playoffs. And there's many that think, including myself, that in order for the Falcons to make the run they need to make, they need to have that home field advantage in the playoffs. This is a team that, since day one, preseason practice day one, they've been focused on getting back to the playoffs and improving on the last 2 playoff performances, which have been absolutely dreadful. The loss 2 years ago to the Packers and the loss last year to the Giants, 24-2, which, let's face it, was pretty much embarrassing. As far as this game goes, some trends to look out for. The over has gone over in 5 of New Orleans' last 7 games on the road. New Orleans is actually 7-1, straight up in their last 8 games versus Atlanta. And but on the flip side of that, Atlanta is 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games at home overall. So I know a lot of people will be on the Saints this week because they're a desperate team, and people like to look for the desperate team in the desperate situation. We think, though, with all that's gone on this year, it's been an overly emotional year for the Saints. Obviously, we think they've actually, done all they could. They played hard, even though between the Sean Payton suspensions and everything that came of the Bountygate scandal, we think they've actually exceeded where our expectations were for them. We thought at most they were a 500 team with the potential to be a 5 or 6 win team. We like Atlanta, knowing that they can bury the Saints and almost solidify that division title with a win here at home. So we'll take Atlanta -3, and we are actually on Atlanta big time in this game. We think they'll win by a lot more than 3. And that's your preview of the Atlanta Falcons New Orleans Saints game for Week 13. We have our Twitter handle at all at the bottom of all of our previews here. So hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on the YouTube comments, and hey, good luck to both teams.